welcome to my channel. My name's Angela and this is Devon Threadtails. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today I'm going to be sharing with you my 1 week Me Made April. I'm feeling very chuffed with myself at the moment because I really struggled with getting my videos done last year, and I'm so chuffed that I've got to April and I'm still doing my 1 week Me Made. I'm actually really enjoying doing them. They've been really great fun. My only thing is I am, like I say, struggling. I said this on my last video, with catching up with all the comments. So I'm gonna try and diarise sort of like a half an hour slot every day just to go through and try and reply to everybody, because yeah, I'm feeling a bit overwhelmed with it at the moment. So I'm sorry about that. And like I say, I do love to reply to everybody. I just haven't had a chance to get to you all. Had a very hectic week last week, and then I was poorly over the weekend, and then here we go, it's Monday morning again. So anyway, enough of all that. It's Monday morning. It is the 3rd of April. I think it's the 3rd of April. And I have been up. I have been to boot camp this morning, which I have to say was the first morning that I have really felt like I was fine getting up at 6 o'clock, or getting up to go to boot camp at 6 o'clock in the morning sometimes feels actually physically painful. But once you've been, it's great and I really enjoy it. But I actually set my alarm a bit earlier today, which sounds a bit mad. I always think if I leave my alarm for as late as possible and I have everything prepared, so that when I get up in the morning, it's literally, I just have to get up, shove my clothes on, I down a quick drink and then I go. But this morning I thought I'd try something different. I put my alarm on a bit earlier, so I was getting up much earlier, but I had a slightly slower start, and that actually really helped, really helped me to just sort of get up and get going this morning. So very, very weird. I'll try it again on Wednesday when I've got boot camp again and see if it works. It might not. But I've done a bit of housework. I've been working this morning for my company that I work for, but I do that at home. So I'm pointing to my desk. You can't see it, but it's over there. I've been working over there, and I've almost come to the end of doing that work to date. So I am going to do a bit more housework. I'm going to cook a bit of lunch and get my tea prepared for tonight. I haven't got any Me Mades on at the moment because I came home from boot camp, I got showered, and I've got changed straight back into some running gear again. So I'm going to go for a run with a friend this afternoon. So obviously it's a bit, I feel a bit bad that I haven't got any Me Mades on, so I'm sorry about that. And I probably won't end up putting Me Mades on at all today because I think I'm going to go to boot camp again tonight. Sounds really mad, but I didn't do anything last week. I had such a frantic week. I didn't do any exercise, and I wouldn't normally do that much in one day, but it's how it's fallen. So that's what I'm going to do. But if I get a chance to, a bit later on, I'm going to be doing a bit of sorting. Sorting seems to be the theme of the moment, if I'm absolutely honest. I don't know, I've been watching Helen from Stitch Rip Repeat. She's been doing a destash, but through doing her destash, she's been like really sorting out her sewing room, and then Ruan's been sorting out her sewing room from the Yorkshire Sew Girl, and everybody just seems to be having a bit of a sort and a declutter and what have you, and it's kind of made me go, yeah, I'm gonna do that. And I'm always so busy, and I've always not got enough time, but it's the Easter holidays now here in the UK, and I've got 2 weeks off the school job that I do, and whilst I have got my girls home from uni, we're not going to be going out and about every single day, so it's given me a little bit more time. So over the weekend, while I wasn't feeling very well, I did start to have a bit of a sort. I'm sorting out my patterns, and I'm sorting out my fabrics, and I'm sorting out the room that I sew in as well. So I'm guessing in this week, it's just a guess, but I'm guessing in this week of my Me Made April, I might well go through a little bit of all of that as I'm doing that. And today, again, I'm going to try and do that. So when I do that, I will share that with you. Did I just really go off on a complete gobbledygoo ramble? I think I did. Anyway, so that's what I've got planned for today. That's what I'm doing. I'm just going to sit and have my cup of tea now I've finished my work, or all but finished my work. I'm just waiting for a few emails to come back to answer. I'm then, like I say, going to make my dinner and my tea, and when I get to doing a little bit of my sorting, I'll come back to you. Anyway, I'll speak to you in a bit. Bye. Hiya, so it is Tuesday today, and I didn't get to sort any of my patterns and things out yesterday, but I've got lots and bits and pieces here that I'm going to start sorting out. I'm not working today because obviously it's the school holidays. I have Amy here. Amy, do you want to say hello?
Hello.
Amy is knitting. It's a really beautiful day today, and I do want to get out and go for a walk a bit later on, and I will take you on that if I do. But it is quite chilly, so we're going to spend the morning just in doing our own bits and pieces, but I'm in Amy's room, so we're going to stay in here together. She's knitting at the moment, so I'll show you what she's knitting.
Oh, so I'm knitting a pair of socks from the 52 Weeks of Socks books, which I can't remember the name. But this is a ball of wool that Mum got me from a craft fair a couple of weeks ago from Strictly Hand-Dyed Yarns, and I think the colour is called Rio Twilight. I've tried to look it up since. I don't think they sell it anymore, but it's very, very, very pretty, and it's making this the plain side really nice kind of strap. There's a bit of pooling, but I quite like that. And here's the textured side. It's just basically 3x1 ribbing. Yeah, really pretty.
They are very pretty. And you're watching a podcast, a knitting podcast. Who are you watching?
I'm watching Well Loved Knits.
Well Loved
Knits.
Oh, Well Loved Knits. Yeah. Cool. So I have got lots of pattern and bits and pieces here. So basically, I don't want to get scrutinised for wasting plastic folders because I am actually going to recycle these, so hopefully it'll be okay. But basically I had my patterns in these folders, and I find it really difficult to store them because they're A3. They're quite big. They fall all over the place. So what I'm doing is I'm changing these into A4 white envelopes, and I'm numbering each of them. And then what I'm doing, I am putting everything onto Trello. So I'll show you my Trello board. So this is my Trello board. So I'm putting in, I've got dresses, skirts, trousers, dungarees, shorts and jeans, jumpsuits and play suits, tops, jumpers, coats and outerwear, pyjamas and loungewear, men's clothing, lingerie, cardigans, bags, aprons and other, home and household and sportswear. There's quite a lot of sections. And then what I'm doing is I'm putting in all of these patterns that I've got. So this is all the dresses, and so let's say, like for instance, the Tilly and the Buttons one, I've basically put these little labels on it. So I know that it's a PDF, I know that it's printed out, it's tried and tested, and it's a woven fabric. And then I've got down here location, envelope 7, and then I've got all the different pictures that I can look at, including the back of the pattern packet, as it were. Basically, I don't want to have to fill in all of the details of how much fabric you need and all that kind of thing, but it's great because I can have it on my phone as well as on the computer, and I can share my Trello board with, say, my girls. If they say to me, Mum, I'd really like a new dress, could you make me one? I can share them my Trello board, and they can have a look through at the different dresses and the dress patterns that I've got here. Now, I did start to do this years ago, and I'm going to try and find a picture that's similar. I took a lot of pictures like this when they were just on my floor, and I know it sounds silly, but I don't like the way that this is set out. So I've now started sort of taking the pictures more like this so that they look brighter and fresher and easier to see, and I'm just updating them as I'm going, and I'm doing the same with my fabric. So if I just go into my fabric, hopefully I can show you that. So I've only updated my viscose. So again, all of this is really old. Some of this I don't even have anymore, so I'm literally updating it but bit by bit, and I will show you my fabric stash in a minute that I've been moving around. So this is the viscose board, and I've been updating this one, taking nice big bright photos of each of the fabrics that I've got. And again, in there I've just got it's 1.5 meters, Guthrie Ghana. That's where I bought it from. I'm not worrying too much about where I'm saying it's from, because at the moment I just want to record that I've actually got the fabric, because I genuinely don't know what fabric I've got, and I am a bit of a a magpie when it comes to fabric, and I keep buying it. So yeah, so I've done that with my viscoses. I need to now go through all of the other ones, and there's loads on here that I need to actually delete because some of them I've sold and all sorts of different things, or I've used, and I want to take better pictures just so that it's just better for me to look at and nicer to sort of go through. So that's what I'm doing at the moment. What I did do is I went through and I did a whole load the other day. I really wasn't feeling very well over the weekend, and I did loads and loads and loads of this, but it's still quite an overwhelming task because I still have lots to do. So I've decided I am going to do 10 a day, or 10 on a day that I can do it, and just tackle it like that. So it just feels a little bit better to do. So that's what I'm doing at the moment. I'm going to do that this morning, and then I might see if I can convince Amy to go out for a bit of lunch. I'm not sure if she's liking the idea. I think she's come home from uni, she's had a couple of hectic days, and I think she just wants to sit and knit all day, which is fair enough. Anyway, I will catch up with you a bit later and let you know how I've got on with all of that. Bye. Hiya, I completely forgot that I didn't share with you what I had on today. So I've actually just popped this cardigan on. This is a cardigan that I knitted ages and ages ago. It's a kit from We Are Knitters, and I really like it, but I knitted it too small, but it's okay for just chucking over the top. So if I knitted it again, which I probably won't if I'm honest, but if I knitted it again, it needs to be in a medium, and I think I knitted it in a small, or I knitted it in a medium and it needs to be in a large. But it's quite nice, I quite like it, and for just going over the top of things, it's quite nice. And I thought, oh, I'll chuck that on today. But what I have had on, and I still have on, is my very first Paper Theory Zadie jumpsuit. So you have to excuse, I've just come in here and everything's all a bit of a mess, but yeah, this was my trial run of this when I was trying to decide what size to make, and I think I made a size 10, grading down to a size 8 in the legs and hips area, and I reduced the length of the crotch by, I think it was about 4 centimeters, something like that. And I just bought this really cheap cottony chambray type thing from Hobbycraft. So it was just like a trial run, but I actually quite like it. I've made it in the 3/4 length. I've made it again since in a longer length in a viscose fabric, and I really like that version. But I think I actually prefer this version. It just feels a bit more casual. So yeah, I quite like that. So I'm in what is essentially my sewing room, which is also Katie's bedroom, but obviously she's away at uni. She's coming home this weekend and it's a state. So I need to sort it out, but it's a state because I've been sorting out all of this fabric. So I have done a few more bits of inputting of my patterns this morning, and I'll show you a bit later on in the week when there's a bit more space where I've actually got those stored. I bought up all of my fabric because I don't normally keep my fabric in here, and I just thought it's really stupid that I've got it in other places in the house. I should have it all in the same place. And there's lots of cupboards and things in here, and there's a big storage piece of room underneath this bed, but it's just kind of got a bit like over the top with stuff being dumped and all the rest of it. So I'm having a proper clear out. I emptied this bed out earlier this week and sorted a whole load of things out, and now I'm in the process of resorting and re-putting everything back in. I have got this great big bag. In fact, I can't even lift it up. I've got a bin liner. If I lift it up, it's going to rip. But I've got a bin liner here of fabric that I don't really want to throw away, but it's fabric that's less than what I feel I could make a garment out of, but I feel like it's too much to throw away or to get rid of. So Amy came up with the suggestion of sorting out all the proper bits of fabric, as it were, all the bits that were suitable for making clothes with, and putting all those other bits in a bin liner for a moment, with the idea that if I've got that sorted, at another point I could then just go through this bit by bit, and that would sort of be a bit more manageable and a bit easier, which I think is a really great idea. So I will show you what's under the bed here. Although I will say the other day I found some more fabric and I thought, oh, that's not even going to fit in. So I'll turn the camera around and show you what I've done so far. So this is the underneath of my bed, and I used to have these boxes in a cupboard downstairs, but they were all shut away and they were quite difficult to access. And I thought what would be really nice is to have all of them down here where I could see all the fabric a bit better. So things like this, I haven't sorted this out yet, but I've sorted all of my viscoses out, and I have to say, I really think that's beautiful. I keep looking at it and going, oh. But obviously I've then got that stored on my Trello account as well. So everything is on, I don't know if I can show you, let me see. Yeah, if I pull it out. So what I've done is I've bought these boards. They were like magazine storage boards, and I've just wrapped my fabric around each of these boards so that they are all uniform in size, or more or less uniform in size, and sort of, you know, place them in these boxes. Now, before I had them where the fabric was turned over the other way, and then I could put the lid on them, but I don't feel like they have to have a lid on them now that they're underneath the bed. So hopefully I can get to, you know, sort all the rest of it out, sorry, because I would quite like to get that so it's the same as that, but that took me absolutely ages. So I need to do the same with the rest. I've got things like I've got some thicker jerseys here. I've got more viscoses here that I couldn't fit in. I've got sort of cotton jerseys and viscose jerseys up in that box over there. Don't even know what's in this one. Oh, this is like woven fabrics, a mix between woven and stretch woven fabrics. Oh, what have I got? There's definitely cottons and things there. Oh, there's just all sorts. So yeah, it really does need a good old sort, and I'm just going to pick a box and say, right, I'm just sorting that out today, and that will make me feel better. I've also got a box over there, or a basket over there, of fabric which I have put on my destash account, so don't forget to go and have a look at my destash if you fancy buying any fabric. A little plug there for my destash account. So I will then show you the inside of the cupboard. Oh, I feel actually quite embarrassed about showing this, but you know, I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna take a deep breath and I'm gonna do it. So my girls have gone through some of their clothes, and I went through some of mine, and they decided to put some clothes on Vinted, and for some reason they decided that this was the place to not fold them but shove them. So all of those are in there, and I've said, right, if they're not gone in the next week or so, they need to just get put in a charity bag and go to charity. I've then got lots of bits and pieces, I don't quite know what that is. I've then taken my Guthrie Ghana kits and I've put them here. So this cupboard, my dad built this for me years and years ago when we first moved into this house, and whilst it's a brilliant cupboard, it's really deep, so it's very difficult to put things in and be able to visualize everything or see everything. So I thought, well, I know what these kits are, and so long as I've got them on my Trello account, it doesn't really matter if I can't see the actual boxes. So I thought I'm going to make use of these cubby holes that are in here with doing things like that. Likewise with my patterns, I don't need to see these patterns, so I've got one whole big row of patterns in envelopes there which go sort of all the way down, and then I'm putting a second row here. They're all numbered, and I've put on there sort of what the numbers are, what I've got. So if I want a pattern, I just need to look on my Trello board and know, right, that's pattern number such and such. Obviously I have written on the front of them as well, I've written what each one is. That was the True Bias Marlowe. And then I've just got some old bits and pieces of Katie's stuff from when she was here. Then in the rest of the cupboard, it's just been, well, as you can see, piled high with all sorts of camp bed in there, wrapping papers, my tracing paper, some old clothes of Katie's. It's my, can't think what it's called now, cover stitch machine up there, which I don't really use, and I kind of wish I hadn't bought now, but never mind. So I'm going to sort through all of these spaces that are very untidy. Oh, some more Guthrie Ghana kits there. I'm going to sort through all of these, and then once I've sorted through them, I will come back and show you. It might not be in this video, it might be in next month's video because it's going to take time. And then up in that very top cupboard, that is full of duvets, like winter duvets, spare pillows, things like that. So I don't think there's very much I can do with that. So yeah, so that's what I've been doing today and the last couple of days. But I'm not gonna lie, I've had enough now, and I was gonna go for a walk, but I'm probably gonna end up going a little bit later on this evening. But I want to go outside because it's a really sunny day today and I've got some knitting. I just want to sit and chill for the rest of the day. So I'm going to get my knitting, I'm going to make a cup of tea, put my cardigan back on because it's warm enough but not quite warm enough, and I'm going to go outside in the sunshine and enjoy the last hour or so before the sun goes in and do a bit of knitting. So see you later. So I'm outside. There's somebody banging something in the distance, so apologies for if you can hear that, but I can't remember if I've updated you with how I'm getting on with my knitting. So I know I'm going to probably get told off by any professional knitters out there because I've stopped halfway through a row, which is very naughty. But this is the Ravello, I think it was called, the Ravello sweater that I'm knitting, and it is coming on quite nicely. So it's got this little rolled neck, and got 1, 2, 3, I've got 4 green stripes. I'm then going to have, the next one is a cream stripe, and then the rest of the body is going to be in navy blue. So I'm hoping that will look quite nice, and then obviously the sleeves will be stripy and navy blue. If I can, I'll put a picture up on the screen so you can see it. But I'm quite pleased with how it's coming on. I did have a few false starts because I did do, I don't call the short rows and things, where you go back and forth to create this sort of effect along here. I kept getting it wrong and I had to rip it back and start again several times, so I didn't do too well with that. But I'm really enjoying it, doing it on the circular needles, really enjoying knitting continental style. It's really helped my knitting. I know I've said this before. So yeah, so I'm just going to enjoy, I was going to say peace and quiet, but can you hear that? Peace and quiet with a little bit of banging going on in the background. Anyway, see you later. That's probably going to be it for me today. Bye. Hiya, so it's Wednesday today and I have been up since about 6 o'clock. I went to boot camp. Wasn't the best boot camp, I'm not going to lie. The boot camp was brilliant, but I had zero energy. So I was a bit like, when's it going to be over? But it's done. I feel better for doing it, I suppose. So and I've just tidied up a little bit this morning, had a nice shower, and my daughter is doing a bit of studying at the moment, but we're going to go to a cafe this afternoon. She said she'd like to go to a cafe and study, which I think is what she does when she's at uni. She says she feels like she's could concentrate a bit more if she's in a cafe because she gets distracted by her knitting and TV and chatting and everything else, which is fair enough. So we're going to go and do that, and I'm hoping I can do a bit of editing of my videos. But I'm set up ready to do a video for my plans for April, but in the meantime I will share with you what I'm wearing today. So I have got on a True Bias, I think it's True Bias Rio t-shirt, and I bought this as part of a kit from Guthrie Ghana. I think I made it a bit small because I've got these sort of little gathers here, which is not good, but other than that it kind of fits okay. And I've got this on with a pair of trousers, which is a pattern from one of the big four. I can't remember what the pattern company is or the number, so I'll make sure it goes across the screen. But basically, when it's an independent company, normally I can remember the names of things because, well, they've just got actual names, but these are normally just numbers, and that's what this is. So this is a pair of very big wide leg trousers. They're sort of, I don't know, I guess you'd call them like palazzo pants. They're quite nice, very wide leg. I do have to be careful going up and down the stairs in them because I do trip up on them. I'll turn the camera around a little bit, try not to let it fall over and stand back so you can kind of see it together. So yeah, so that's what it looks like. They're quite nice, quite wide. They just come up, they've got like pleats that come up here and pleats at the back. There's no pockets, it's a zip at the back. The t-shirt that I'm wearing, it's tucked in and it comes down to about there, so that's sort of the length of it. But I think that looks okay together. I tried wearing it with the t-shirt out and it didn't look quite right. I'm going to put this on either with my denim jacket or my little red cardigan for when we go out in a bit, and I'm going to wear white pumps. So that's what I'm wearing today. What else am I doing today? I'm gonna go, you don't need to know this, but I'm gonna go and get my legs waxed later. So that'll be nice. So yeah, I'm gonna go and have my legs waxed, and then it is full steam ahead for getting tidy, getting this room properly sorted for my other daughter that'll be coming home tomorrow evening. And I do actually want to get some sewing done. I haven't done any sewing for days and days and days, if not a week. So I'm feeling like I've got withdrawal symptoms. So that's what I'm doing today. If I get a chance, I'll share a few bits with you, but if not, I will see you tomorrow. Bye. Hiya, so it is Thursday today and I am just about to go into town. Ellen has stayed over at a friend's last night and she's now going into town to go to the opticians, and I said I'll meet her in there. I don't think we're going to go in and do very much in the way of shopping or anything like that, but I'm just going to meet her. I end up going for a cheeky cup of tea or something like that. I really want to go over to Make because they've got this amazing fabric over there which I'd like to buy. Oh, I don't need to buy any more fabric, but if I do, I will share it with you. So on to what I'm wearing, and I have dug around in the bottom of my bed where I keep all of my clothes that I'm not currently wearing, and I've dug out this summer dress which maybe is a bit too bright and summery because it's sunny today, but not that sunny. It's quite chilly still. And I have got on my Named Clothing Kilo wrap dress. So for anybody that hasn't seen these, I'm sure you have, they are this amazing dress which looks like that when it's, you know, not done up. And you can, if you want to, so just say you're on holiday and you just want it nice and loose, you can have it like that. You can tie it behind you, but what I do is I tie it in front, pull it nice and tight, but it's in a viscose jersey fabric so it doesn't feel uncomfortable. Wrap it around and then tie it at the front like that. So let's put that one underneath so it doesn't stick out. There we go. So yeah, and if you make this in stripy fabric, it creates all these different lines and things. I love this fabric. This fabric is from material girl Laura, who used to have a shop but unfortunately doesn't have a shop anymore. I really love this fabric. It's just so bright and colourful. It's actually really way out of my comfort zone. It's not the sort of thing that I would normally wear, but I just love it, and it feels really bright and summery and happy and colourful. And then I've just got that on with my denim jacket, which, if I'm honest, is a bit small for me. It's a really old one. I mean, I got it years and years ago, and it is a bit small for me, but I don't do it up. I don't think I could just about do it up. So I only wear it like that. It's just like a little thing to go over my shoulders to keep my shoulders and arms warm. So I don't think it matters, but I quite like that. I think that looks quite nice. I've got that on with some little white pumps. I think this dress comes a lot longer with a split at the back, but I cut it off where the split comes, and I am delighted with this dress. I absolutely love it. So yeah, so I'm going to go off and do that today. If I get a chance, I'll come back and talk to you or go through some bits and pieces, and if I buy that fabric I will let you know. But I can't remember if I said at the beginning of the video, but my other daughter is coming home today. She's going to arrive at the train station at about 6:15. So other than what I'm doing a little bit this morning, I'm going to whiz off, do that, come home, and then I'm going to get her room, because I was meant to do that yesterday but I just didn't get a chance, get her room really tidy and cleaned up, strip the bed, all that kind of thing, make sure it's all nice and usable for her for when she gets home. So yeah, so I will speak to you later. Bye. So I finished tidying up Katie's room, all ready for her to come home. I still have to leave my sewing machine and overlocker and things there, parcel for her. So it's all left like this. Hello. And I wish that it looked like this all the time, but I just go super crazy and don't ever put anything away when I'm sewing, so very naughty. Still have to do lots of sorting out for under the bed for the fabric, but I have done lots more of the pattern sorting, so that's all there. Oh, put that in the wrong place. And I've got the boxes all in there, but still have loads of this to sort out still, so it's a work in progress. It's been a really good day. I've actually quite enjoyed my day today. Sorry, there's a helicopter going overhead outside. So what I have done is I met Ellen for her optician appointment this morning, and then we went and had a little bit of lunch, and we also decided to go and try some clothes on. I have actually bought something. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it. I think I might have a little root through my patterns and see if there's anything that I can find that's similar. But what I did is I picked up lots of clothes of patterns that I've been buying recently. No, should I start again? I tried on lots of clothes that were similar in style to some of the patterns that I've bought recently, and I was trying them on. I'll put them in here. Obviously they're changing room pictures, so they're not going to look great, but I just thought it was a good idea to see what they look like and see if I liked the idea of wearing them, which is probably silly to have bought the pattern already. I should have maybe done the trying on bit first, but I quite like it. I am definitely liking the idea of the Marnie, so I definitely think I'm going to be trying that. And the Lois dress by Tessuti Pattern. So yeah, I'll put that in here. I also tried on a really beautiful shirt dress, but I forgot to take a picture of that one, which was really silly. And I thought that was most like the Sew Over It Nicole dress. So I really would like to have a go at making that one. But yeah, put those pictures in. I just think it's a really good idea to try things on first, rather than going to all the effort of making something and then going, oh, I don't really like it. So we are getting ready to go and get Katie from the station. I'm going to go and pop some tea on in a second, but I'm going to leave it there for today, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Hiya. So it is Bank Holiday Friday today. Everybody's had the day off. We've been to a lovely cafe this morning called the Early Bird. I'll put some pictures up that I took while I was there. It was just really lovely. So the downstairs is a bakery where you can go and just pick up bits and pieces to take home with you and take away, and then upstairs is a cafe, and it just sells lots of really lovely sort of brunch things and what have you. But I've come home this afternoon, and it is a gloriously sunny day. We're all just chilling a little bit. I'm sat out in the garden. I've got on my very bright and colourful dungarees. In fact, I'm a little bit warm, might have to change in a minute. John's doing a few tinkery bits and pieces in the garden that he needs to do, and the girls are just chilling for a moment. I think we're going to go for a walk later on this afternoon. I really fancy going up on Plymouth Hoe, so I might go there. But I have got my cup of tea in my beautiful new mug from Becky Lane, who designed the cup. I got it when I went to the craft fair the other day with Helen, so yeah, enjoying that in my lovely cup. Please do go and check Becky Lane out. She's got an online shop, and she did a store at the Craft for Crafters fair that Helen and I went to, and she had some lovely fabric there. So yeah, do go and check her out. I'll try and remember to put her details down below. So I have got my laptop here and my phone, and I'm just going to go through and try and really make sure that I've got everything recorded from my my storage drive, and make sure I've pattern-wise, on my storage drive, and make sure that I've got that on my Trello account. So I'm going to try and make a bit of a list and make sure that's all there. But I'm getting there slowly with all of the database updating on my Trello account. It's just taking a lot of time because I've got a lot. And if there's any advice out there that I could give to anybody that's starting up sewing, it would be to start your recording of everything from day one, because otherwise it's just a mammoth task to try and update it from a couple of years down the road. Anyway, I'm going to carry on with that, and I might well take you when we go out for a walk later. Bye. Hello, it is Saturday today, and it is about 11:15 at night. I completely forgot to do my video today, but we've had a bit of a full-on day. It's been a lovely day. The girls and I have spent the morning baking lots of bits and pieces, some scones, cakes, making up little sandwiches and bits and pieces, and then my mum and dad came round, so their nanny and granddad came round in the afternoon, and we had like an afternoon tea, and it was just lovely. We've just chilled out and we've had a really lovely afternoon. Then my daughter's gone to the theatre tonight, so we've sort of had tea and, you know, cleared up and what have you, and then I've just been and picked her up, and I've got home, I've just washed all my makeup off, I was just about to put my moisturiser on, and I just suddenly thought, oh, I've done my video. So I thought, before I get changed into my Jimmy Jams, I'll show you what I've got on. So I do apologise. Anyway, I wanted to talk about this dress because I know that I put the same type of dress on, or the same make and style of this dress on, in my last video, and I said that I'd made another version, a shorter version, which I wanted to share with you, but I just wanted to share my thoughts on it as well. So I've got on the So Liberated Stasia dress, but I've got on the short version, which I cannot remember if I've ever shown you this, because it was something that I made last year, and it was when I wasn't sewing a huge amount, and it was also when I was struggling to get videos out and things like that. So I don't know if it's something I've ever shared with you, but I will stand up and show you. I've got it on with a cardigan at the moment because it's quite cold. But yes, it is a shorter dress. I've done exactly the same where I have done the neck like this, but the back like this, but you can actually do it so it comes down lower. It has the slightly inverted sort of waistline. It's got pockets. I've made it out of this fabric. I quite like the neckline on it as well, and the sleeves. It does have different length sleeves that you can make as well. The fabric is a cotton jersey with these geese, I think they are, geese and sunshine, so little triangles and bees and all sorts of things on them. It's a different colour for me. Quite like it actually, although I will say it did look better when I had a bit of makeup on. But I just wanted to say about this dress, so my other version of this dress, it is in a viscose, I want to say it's a viscose jersey, but I think it might even be a modal jersey, I'm not quite sure. But because it is long, it obviously drags everything down a little bit, and everything fits perfectly in the hem for the, not the hem, I keep saying the hem, the seam for the waistline falls perfectly on my waist, and I made exactly the same size when I made this, but obviously it isn't heavy because it hasn't got a huge amount of fabric to cut it down. So my waist is here, but the actual waist seam is up here. But on my other dress, which is really long, it's definitely more there. So I think what I need to do is put a note. I mean, it's fine. Actually, I've quite enjoyed wearing this today. I would say I've had it on, what shoes I've had it on with, but I haven't actually left the house all day, so I haven't actually had any shoes on all day really. The only thing I've done is put this big cardigan on when I was a bit cold earlier. So yeah, I would say what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a note on the pattern to say if I make this as a long version in the future to leave the pattern as it is, but if I make it as a shorter version to extend the waist seam to bring it down a little bit, because I don't like that sensation where it's not sitting properly on my waist. So I don't know if you can see that a bit closer. So it doesn't go straight, it kind of comes down like that, and on my other one it sort of sits here and goes like that, whereas this one is right up there and it just doesn't feel right, whereas I think that was sort of there, that's more comfortable for me. I do like the fact it's got pockets. It's not going to stop me wearing it. I think it's quite, you know, it's absolutely fine. I quite like the neckline on this. I really like the shape of it. It feels quite nice. It's not too wide, it's not too low, so it's shows too much, but it's not, you know, it's not really high. Yes, it's just right. It's the Goldilocks of t-shirts sort of design style. Anyway, before I start going into sleepy zone mode and talking absolute utter nonsense, I'm going to love you and leave you there, and I will see you tomorrow, which will be my last day of 1 Week Me Made April. It's also Easter Sunday tomorrow, so I'll see you then. Bye. Hello, so it is Sunday today, and I would say happy Easter, but this video will be coming out probably a week or two after it's actually Easter. But it's Sunday today, Easter Sunday, and we've had a really lovely day. Ellen, who is sat right behind me, made an amazing roast. So that was absolutely fantastic. We were gonna do it, but she kind of went, you know what, I fancy doing it myself. So that was brilliant. So we had that, and we've been to a garden centre, picked up some bits and pieces, because again, Ellen wanted to do some planting. But we have all, except for John, because John's gone out on his motorbike, we have all come up into Katie's room. I don't know why, we're all squished in here, dogs as well, as you can see. Lottie's sort of snuggled up between Ellen and Katie. Katie is embroidering Ellen's hat, which she was, Ellen has actually been embroidering it herself. Do you want to give it to me and I'll just have a look? So Ellen actually got given this hat, but she already had it. It was just a plain hat like this, and she started embroidering it with some little bits and pieces just to make it really different. So she's asked Katie to carry on embroidering that because Katie didn't have anything to do, so that's fair enough. Ellen is crocheting. What are you crocheting at the moment?
A bikini.
A bikini in a green, which is nice. Amy is, surprise, surprise, knitting down beside me. I'll turn you around a moment so you can see what she's knitting. And I am sewing. So what have I done so far? I have cut out some of my Sew Selfless April things that I wanted to do. So I have cut out Katie's Nico top. So I'm about to start sewing that. I've got all the bits and pieces pinned here. I've got John's t-shirt pattern traced out, and I've ironed the fabric, so I do need to do that. And Amy has changed her mind on what she wanted. She wanted a dress, but we've actually gone with a t-shirt now instead that she fancies. So I've put that fabric on to wash so I can get that done. I'm actually going to make her the Jackson tee, which is a t-shirt I made as a pyjama top before. She wants a long sleeve version of it, really oversized. She tried mine on. It fits her really nicely, doesn't it, Amy? So she's going to have that, but with just long sleeves. And who else am I sewing for? Is that it? That's it for Sew Selfless April. So yeah, so I'm doing all those bits and pieces. It's quite nice because they're all jersey and knit fabric pieces. So once they're all cut out, they should be actually really quick to sew up, so that's really good. Amy, did you want to say what you're knitting at the moment? Yeah. I think you might have said on one of the things earlier, might not on one of my videos earlier.
Yeah, so I was making a bag earlier, but I need to buy something before I can finish it. So I've literally just cast on the start of a t-shirt, which is not very much, it's just a bit
Yeah, but you've literally just cast it on, haven't you?
This is to make the rumble raglan.
Oh, yes. So Amy showed me the picture of this earlier, and some pictures of it online as well, and just on Instagram, yeah, and they look absolutely amazing. So I have to say I quite fancy it myself.
So I'm doing the 3-colour version. So.
Yeah, what colours are you doing?
So we've got this orange that I've cast on with the white and the pink.
Oh, it's going to look really, really nice. That's lovely. And you talk about that more, don't you, in my makes video. Yeah. So yeah, so we're having a very creative day. Like I say, oh, sorry, John's gone out on his motorbike. So he was like, oh, if you're all busy, I'm just going to go out and do that. But we're just going to carry on chilling. We've got a nice surprise today because Katie was going to be going home back to London today, and she's got a flexible train ticket, so she went, do you know what, I'm going to stay another day. So we're all delighted. Anyway, I'm going to love you and leave you there. I hope that you've enjoyed coming along for my 1 week Me Made April. Do tell me what you've been up to, and I'll speak to you all again soon. Oh, actually, I haven't told you what I'm wearing, have I? Can't believe that. Right, forget that bit that I've just said. I am wearing the Tilly and the Buttons Billy sweatshirt. I will stand up and show you. Oh, you can't see all of it, so I'll come down. I really like this. Is a sweatshirt dress. I haven't worn it this year yet because it's been too cold and I don't feel like I can wear this with darker tights. But I have got tights on today. I've got on skin tights and it's kind of okay. It's one of those sweatshirty dresses that you can only really wear just at a very specific time. So sort of before the summer and after summer, but not really in the height of summer and not really in the height of winter. I think it's because of the colouring. And actually, when Amy and I were talking about what we were going to make, I forgot that I had this fabric that I bought from Makeup 140 to make it again for myself, and with this ribbing. And I did say to Amy, what about having this dress, because she quite likes this dress as well, but decided it wasn't really the right colour for you, didn't we? So yeah, so I'm probably still going to stick to making that for myself at some point. But yeah, anyway, so that's what I've got on. And this dress, similarly to the South Bank sweater, it's, you know, similar sort of style, except for it doesn't have the high neck on it. And I like the shape of it because it sort of comes in a little bit. It's quite feminine, but this one has pockets. But as you can see, they're not inseam pockets. They're sort of, I don't know how you would describe that, but the pockets are slightly in and sort of inbuilt on the front section of the dress, which I quite like. They definitely sit better than what the South Bank sits, but they still obviously stick out slightly because, well, they're made of quite thick fabric. So yeah, I still quite like it though, and I still think I will put pockets in on this version, but still won't put the pockets in on the South Bank sweater dress. Right, now I'm properly going to say goodbye. So I will see you all again soon. I hope you're having a good week. Bye!